Hi everyone, my name is Zoe Baylis and I'm UR POLIS's Vice President. Today I'm here to talk to you about how to participate meaningfully in class as part of UR POLIS's survival guide. The first suggestion that I have for you guys today is to really just seat yourself for success in class. And by this, I quite literally mean make sure you're seated in a location where you can hear the instructor, where you can see the board clearly, and where you're not really going to be distracted. That might look a little bit different for everyone. Maybe you're someone that needs a little bit of space to spread out. Maybe you like to sit at the front, or maybe you like to sit at the back. This is a bit different for everyone, but just make sure that wherever you are seated, you are ready to learn. And my next suggestion here is really just to also make sure that you're set up before class actually begins with all the relevant materials. By this, I mean if maybe you're talking about a chapter from a reading in this course, make sure that you have that like out in front of you just so you're able to take notes and reference like any quotes that they might mention a little bit quicker. My next piece of advice for participating meaningfully in class is actually to actively participate. But what do I mean by this? This really means ask questions. And I know this can be scary, especially for new students, but it honestly is so beneficial to your learning as well as the learning of your peers. I know that like I've had profs tell me throughout like my whole academic career, if you have a question, it's very likely that other people in the classroom actually have that same question too. So there's never any need to be embarrassed about asking questions. My next suggestion here is to make sure that you're engaging in discussion respectively with your peers and that you're actually actively listening to what they have to say. Not kind of just like preparing your response ahead of time, but listening and taking in that information, because that also helps you like further understand the information that you're learning in class as well. And lastly, just like don't be afraid to speak up yourself. Make sure you're actually like engaging, that you're talking. It honestly, it makes your classes a lot more fun, and I think it helps your learning a lot more than you actually realize, which obviously is essential to your success in the course. My last suggestion for how to participate meaningfully in the classroom is actually about participating meaningfully outside the classroom. So by this, I mean do your readings, do your work ahead of time, make sure that you're prepared for class in the way that works for you. So maybe you are someone that likes to do a quick skim of the reading and then follow up after class with like more in-depth like note taking, or maybe you like to do that first, whatever that may be. Just make sure that you understand the topic that's being discussed, you know, the readings that are going to be discussed, so then you are actually able to like participate in the discussion. My other piece of advice here is also to attend office hours and get to know your professors. Professors love to see you at their office hours. It really helps your learning. If you're struggling with the concept, they can help you. And it really just kind of shows your dedication to the course overall as well. My last suggestion here is also to like discuss the material with your peers outside of class, because then you're putting that knowledge to use outside of the classroom, which means that you're actually taking it in on a deeper level as you're having these more open and casual conversations, and you're actually curious about what you're learning, which is really beneficial overall. Last, I kind of put together some quick tips for you that I find helpful. The first one is just like make sure you have the right tools, which kind of builds off the point that I was talking about earlier about coming to class prepared. But like in addition to that, like have the tools that you need to learn as well. So if you're someone that likes to take like notes on your computer, that's great. Make sure you have like anything that you might need there. If you want to take notes in a notepad, make sure that you have your notepad and pen or whatever you might need. Just make sure that you have the materials that you need to learn, so that way there's no like barriers there. The next thing is like that goes with that is like figuring out what works best for you. Like everyone is very different, and that is okay. Everyone learns different. I know sometimes in university you're going to be pushed to do things a certain way, but I think it's more important that you learn what works best for you, because you're the one that's going to be in your degree for the next few years, and you're the one that kind of has to figure out what way you study best, what way you take notes best, or process information best. My last piece of advice is obviously to prioritize self-care, because you can't actively participate in class if you don't have the mental energy to do so. This just means taking care of yourself, making sure you're eating, you're drinking, you're sleeping. And I know that it's hard sometimes as a student, but I do really think it's extremely crucial to your learning. Well, I hope that this helped a little bit. And please, please, please feel free to reach out to UR POLIS at any time. We'd all love to help you. We'd love to help you get more involved on campus as well. And I hope that you find this a little bit helpful in terms of your upcoming semester. Have a great semester, guys.